Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today. We are taking on a massive, genuinely vital topic that touches quite literally every single modern business. We're looking at system integration and architecture. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like your company's technology is just a whole lot of fragmented noise? Different apps, a dozen different logins, data just scattered everywhere? Well, today, we're going to learn exactly how to transform that chaotic IT noise into a synchronized, beautifully orchestrated business symphony.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Our structural blueprint for today covers the cost of disconnected systems, defining what integration actually is, the evolution of connectivity, the real-world benefits and challenges, and finally, we'll wrap up with the vital role of the IT conductor. Section 1. The cost of disconnected systems, or as I like to think of it, the chaos of isolation. See, when organizations grow, their IT landscapes become incredibly complex, incredibly fast. So I want to pose this critical question to you right off the bat. Why is system integration crucial? Why do we care? Well, in today's digital economy, businesses rely on a massive multitude of specialized software. Think about it for a second. You've got your ERPs, your CRMs, HR platforms, supply chain management, e-commerce applications. It's a lot. But what happens if your digital storefront literally can't talk to your warehouse inventory? Total chaos. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world business pain points we're trying to solve here. Look at the left side. When systems operate in isolation, you get data silos. Information is just completely fragmented. Employees end up wasting countless hours doing manual data entry, literally just copying and pasting information from one system to another. And of course, that leads to huge inefficiencies and tons of errors. Without consolidated data, your decision-making grinds to a total halt. And ultimately, your customers are the ones who suffer through a disjointed, really frustrating experience. But look at the right side. When we integrate these systems, the magic happens. We establish a single source of truth for critical data. We unlock automated workflows that totally reduce manual effort. We gain real-time agility to respond to market changes instantly. And we provide a totally seamless experience for both our employees and our customers. It's a night and day transformation from total frustration to harmony. So to fix those isolated systems, let's move to Section 2, defining system integration, our blueprint for harmony. Let's make sure we've got a clear vocabulary here. First up, what exactly is a system? We aren't just talking about your laptop. A system is a collection of interconnected components. So that's your hardware, software, data, and processes, all working together to achieve a specific objective. These are the fundamental building blocks of our IT architecture, and they can be as small as a single little departmental app or as massive as a sprawling enterprise resource planning platform. Next is integration. This is the vital glue. It's the actual act of taking those separate, disparate pieces and combining them into a single, cohesive unit that functions as one. It's the whole process of breaking down those silos we just talked about to enable smooth, coordinated information flow. Then we have architecture. Think of this as the master blueprint. Architecture is the fundamental organization of a system. It guides the design and evolution, ensuring that our integrated building blocks don't just, turn into a chaotic, tangled mess as the business scales up. We also need to define enterprise. An enterprise is a large, highly complex organization encompassing various departments, business units, and geographical locations, all supported by IT infrastructure. When we talk about enterprise systems, we are talking about massive scale and incredibly high stakes. And finally, stakeholders, because at the absolute center of all this technology are the actual people who rely on it. Stakeholders are the individuals or groups affected by the integration project. This includes business users, IT personnel, management, customers, vendors, even regulatory bodies. Honestly, understanding their unique needs is the absolute key to making an integration successful. Right, now that we know the terms, let's explore Section 3, the evolution of connectivity. We're taking a journey from spaghetti to microservices. Because, believe me, we haven't always had these elegant cloud platforms we use today. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds. Back in the 1980s, IT systems were monolithic. Connecting them meant creating this tangled, unmanageable web that people literally called spaghetti architecture. Thankfully, the 90s brought middleware and enterprise application integration to act as a kind of central hub, which then evolved in the 2000s into modular service-oriented architecture.
Then the 2010s completely changed the game with cloud computing and microservices for standardized, highly scalable communication via APIs. And today, we're living in the era of iPaaS and hyper-automation, using AI and machine learning to automate complex processes end-to-end. We've literally gone from a tangled bowl of spaghetti to incredibly agile, intelligent cloud frameworks. Which brings us to Section 4, Benefits and Real-World Challenges, the two sides of the coin. Look, deploying these modern integration blueprints sounds absolutely perfect in theory, but we need to take a balanced, clear-eyed look at the reality of actually implementing them. Now, what's really interesting about this is how directly the massive business gains correlate with very, very real hurdles. Yes, on one hand, you gain improved operational efficiency and incredible automation, but first, you have to overcome the high complexity of connecting wildly diverse technologies and protocols. You absolutely get enhanced data accuracy and better business intelligence for sure, but doing so requires incredibly complex data transformation and mapping just to ensure everything syncs up correctly. We can deliver a seamless customer experience, but we have to maintain strict security, compliance, and governance across all those different touchpoints. And while integration absolutely drives major cost savings and agility over time, organizations often struggle right out of the gate with integrating stubborn, older legacy systems, battling internal resistance, or trying to avoid getting locked into a single vendor's platform. So it's a high-reward but highly challenging endeavor. Navigating those challenges brings us to our final section, the conductor of IT. Realizing all those amazing benefits requires a specific hero in our narrative, and that's the system integrator. The system integrator bridges the critical gap between raw, highly complex technology and actual business needs. And they wear a lot of hats to pull this off. They don't just design the architecture and meticulously map the data. They bake in security, compliance, and governance right from day one. But it's not just a technical role. They provide real leadership. They troubleshoot huge issues, optimize performance, and, maybe most importantly, they translate complex concepts so non-technical leaders and stakeholders can actually understand the vision. I absolutely love how the source materials summarizes this. Let me read this to you. The system integrator/architect acts as a conductor, orchestrating the seamless collaboration of diverse technological instruments to create a harmonious and efficient IT ecosystem for the enterprise. It's such a perfect metaphor, right? Just like a symphony conductor brings together the strings, the brass, and the percussion to make music, the integrator ensures all your distinct software applications are playing off the exact same sheet music. So, we've seen how integration has evolved from that tangled spaghetti to brilliant microservices. As we look to the future, with decentralized mesh architectures and an API-first approach really taking hold, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Will hyper-automation, AI-driven intelligent integration, or low-code platforms compose your company's next symphony? The tools for orchestration are getting smarter literally every single day. So how will your organization adapt? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep orchestrating, and I'll catch you next time.